there which tells you about the resins. What are the types of resins, how they look like, and from where do they come from. As you can see in this picture, these are coming from the barks of the tree. And how they come out from the tree? By making a incisions. Incisions means a cut. When you cut on the bark, uh, gum-like secretions come out from them. These are known as resin, and these can be resins can be in favorable conditions or normal or abnormal metabolism products, both. So now we are starting with the resin and resin combinations definition. The term resin is applied to more or less solid amorphous products of complex chemical nature. They are solid amorphous products and they have a complex chemical nature, means chemical nature it is not easy. And these are amorphous mixture of essential oils, oxygenated products of terpenes and carboxylic acid. It means resins contains oils also. They can also contain oxygenated products of terpenes, means terpenoids, and carboxylic acids also. So resins are the mixtures, you can say. And resins and related resinous products, these are produced in plants during the normal growth or secreted as a result of injury to the plants. So resins, we can say that they are the byproducts during the normal growth or even after the injury to the plants. We can obtain resin from the plant, and they are usually occurs in the cystogenous and cystolysogenous cavities or ducts. When the cell combine or break, they are mostly found in that ducts. This is all about resin introduction. Means you can say resins are the amorphous products. They are of complex chemical nature and they can contain terpenes, carboxylic acids, and they are the exudations from the trunk of the various trees. They can be a transparent, translucent solids, and they are usually formed in cystogenous or cystolysogenous cavities or ducts, and they are known as the end products of the metabolism. Now moving to the general properties. In general properties, there are physical characters and chemical characters also. So first we are discussing about the physical characters. Physical character means first one is all resins are heavier than water. Water से ये heavy होते हैं and they are usually amorphous, hard, and you can also say brittle solids. They are insoluble in water. Water में insoluble रहेंगे ये, and usually insoluble in pet ether also, that is in your solvents also they are insoluble but dissolve more or less completely in alcohol, chloroform and ether, but insoluble in the pet ether. Chemically, resins are complex mixture. We have already discussed in the previous slides that these are known as a complex mixture. Why? Because they consist of resin acids also, resin alcohols, then they are known as resinols, resin phenols, then they are known as resinotenols, esters, and chemical inert compounds known as resins. Note down, this is the different spelling than resins and resins. In this it is RESENES, resins, and that term is resins. Many resins when boiled with alkali they yield soaps like substances, and by the action of heat they soften yielding clear adhesive fluids. जब भी आप अपने resins को heat करते हैं, by the action of the heat they soften, means they soft हो जाते हैं और ये clear and adhesive fluids like gummy like secretions, gummy इनका nature होता है, and resin burn with a characteristic smoky flame. Means whenever you burn any resin you can identify with its flame that the flame is smoky, means blackish flame is there. Next properties, resins are often associated with the volatile oils. Then they are known as oleoresins. When they are associated with the gums, they are known as gum resins. Or when with both the oil and the gum, then they are known as oleogum resins. You can also write down this concept on in the classification of resins like oleoresins, gum resins, and oil and gum resins also. Resins may also be combined in a glycosidal manner with the sugars also. Then coming to now the chemical nature. In the physical nature, we have studied that they are heavier than the water, insoluble in water, more or less completely soluble in the alcohol, and they are the complex mixture of the acids, alcohols, and phenols. And when boiled with alkalis, means bases, they yield soaps, and by the action of the heat, they produce a softened, clear adhesive fluid, and when they burn with the smoky flame. And resins are often associated with the oils, then it is known as oleoresin. When with the gum, they are known as gum resins, and with both the oil and gum, they are known as oleogum resins. And resin may also be combined in a glycosidal manner with the sugars. Now coming to the chemical nature, chemically resins are not pure substances as many times I have repeating now again that they are the complex mixture of several resinous substances like resin acids, resin alcohols, resin esters, and neutral resins also. So they are not pure substances. You can't say that if you find a resinous compound that it is a pure resin. You can find there the acid, you can find the alcohol, then esters also. And resins do not contain nitrogen elements like in the alkaloidal drugs. They are the nitrogen containing compounds, but resins are known as the non nitrogens containing compounds. This is about the chemical nature. Now the classification of resins. Resins are classified into three different ways. First one is the taxonomical classification. Taxonomy means it is it is based on the genera, species, or the botanical origins. For example, Barbidaceae resins. In this, they are classified according to their family. Barbidaceae resins. Next, according to the predominating chemical constituents, means predominating means which is very important and due to which it attributed therapeutic activity, that is predominating, that is also present in a large quantity, and it is known as the chief active constituent. According to the chief active constituent, or you can say predominating chemical constituents, we can divide the resins into the different classes like acid resins, resin resins. What is resins? When it is known as resins, when the resins are the complex mixture, जब उसमें बहुत सारे mixture presents होते हैं, then it is resins are known as resins. And according to the predominating resins, resins, glycosidal resins. Glycosidal means there is a sugar compound also associated with the resin. Third classification is that resin may be classified according to the portion of the main constituent of the resin or resin combination. According to the main constituent of the resin or resin constitution. Example resins, simple resins, oleoresins, oleogum resins, and balsams also. Oleoresins means oil plus resin. Oleogum resins means oil plus gum plus resins. Balsam means there should be a balsamic acids present. Balsamic acids are the acids of benzoic and cinnamic acids. Then they are known as balsams. Example same resins, oleoresins, oleogum resins, and balsam. Now the classification we are studying in the detail. What are acid resins? In this, the resins occur with their acids. When resin plus acid, they are known as acid resins. Example is colophony. It constitutes the main active constituent in this abitic acid. That is why they are known as acid resin, because their main active constituent is of acidic in nature. Second drug is Sendrec. It consists of sandrocolic acid, then Mir, commiphoric acid, commifora molmol, then copaiba, copavic acid. That's why these drugs are known as acid resin and they can be classified in this category of acid resins. Next category is ester resins. This group contains esters. As their name suggests, these are the ester resins. So this group contains esters as the chief constituent of the resins. Examples, benzoin and storax. Benzoin contains benzoyl, benzoate, and storax contain cinnamyl, cinnamate. 8 means they are the contains ester group. Next is resin alcohols. They occur as in free state or as in esters. As a free state means there is no attachments in their groups, or as esters, example balsam of Peru with a Peru resinotenol, then guaicum resin with a guaic resinol. They are also further classified into the resins, examples colophony, cannabis, oleoresin, copaiba, ginger is also a oleoresin. It constitutes volatile oil gingerol. Then oleogum resin, asafoetida, ferula foetida, myrrh, commiphora molmol. Then balsams, balsam of Tolu and balsam of Peru. Then glycoresins, jalap, resins, asafoetida again, and colophony. They can be also classified according to these names: resin, oleoresin, oleogum resins, balsams, glycoresins, and resins. Now we have discussed what is acid resins, what is oil resins, what is simple resin, what are what are balsams. Balsams are the resinous mixtures that contain large proportion of cinnamic acid, benzoic acid, or both, or even they can contain or they consist of esters of these acids, means cinnamate, benzoate. Okay, so balsams are known as resinous mixture that contain large proportions of ceramic acid, benzoic acid or both. तो balsam आप किन compounds को बोलेंगे जिनके अंदर दोनों ही present होंगे या फिर single benzoic acid और ceramic acid, or they can be present in their ester form. And the term balsam is often wrongly applied to the oleoresin, and it should be reserved for such substances such as balsam of Peru, balsam of Tolu, and storax. As we have discussed in the earlier slide, storax contain the ester of cinnamyl cinnamate. Cinnamyl cinnamate means this is a ester form, and which contains a high proportion of aromatic balsamic acids. So this is all about the classification of resins according to the taxonomy, according to their main active constituent, and according to their association. They can be classified. Now the preparation of resins. How you can prepare the resins. Resins can be prepared by the two general classes of resinous substances are recognized, and this classification is based on the method used in preparing them. Natural resins occur as exudates from the plants produced normally or as a result of pathogenic condition. What are natural resins? You can say these are the exudates from the plants, means secretions from the plant. And how you do obtain them? You can obtain them, or they can be produced normally or as a result of pathogenic conditions. Pathogenic means whenever your plant is suffer from any disease, then that condition is known as pathogenic condition due to the invasion of pathogens. Next are the examples by the artificial punctures. Artificial punctures means you mechanically made a deep cuts in the wood of the plant, in the trunk of the trees. Example turpentine, or by hammering and scorching. Example balsam of Peru. आपने जानबूझ के artificially puncture किया है अंदर X by using X or by using hammers. डीप कट्स लगाए हैं, वहां से वुड ऑफ द प्लांट में से you can get the resins. So this is the method or the preparation of resin. First one is this is the natural. Now coming to the prepared resins. These are obtained by the different methods. The drug containing the resins is powder and extracted with the alcohol till exhaustion. Exhaustion means जब आपके ड्रग में रेजिन एक पाउडर है, आपने उसका एक्सट्रैक्शन लगा दिया, जब तक वो ड्रग आपका फुल एग्जॉस्ट नहीं हो जाता, मींस उसमें से जितने भी केमिकल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स हैं एक्सट्रैक्ट आउट नहीं हो जाते, यू कैन कैरी द एक्सट्रैक्शन प्रोसेस. The concentrated, now what is the second step in this? The concentrated alcoholic extract is either evaporated or poured into the water and the precipitated resin is collected. वहां से हमने एक्सट्रैक्शन लगाई, पूरा एग्जॉस्ट हो गया आपका मटेरियल, जो आपको लास्ट में कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड अल्कोहलिक एक्सट्रैक्ट मिला, फिर से आपने उसको इवेपोरेट करना है और वाटर के अंदर डाल देना है और उसका प्रेसिपिटेशन कराना है एंड द प्रेसिपिटेटेड रेजिन इज कलेक्ट कर लेना है, उसको वॉश कर लेना है एंड फिर ड्राई कर देना है. दिस इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ द प्रिपेयर्ड रेजिन. And in the preparation of oleoresins, ether or acetone have a very low boiling point. These are used as a solvent and volatile oil portion is removed through the distillation. This is in the case, especially in the case of oleoresin, when your resins are associated with the oil portion, means volatile oil, then volatile oil portion is removed through the distillation. Next process, when the resins occurs or associated with the gum, means gum resins, the resin is extracted with the alcohol. Extract करेंगे हम alcohol से, leaving the gums insoluble. So you can see here there are different type methods according to their chemical composition. You can do by the distillation or by a simple extraction by the solvent. What is distillation? Distillation is the action of purifying a liquid by a process of heating and cooling. इसमें आप पहले हीट करते हैं, देन थ्रू द कंडेंसर कूल करके आप अपना डिस्टिलेट जो है उसको कलेक्ट कर लेते हैं. So it is basically it is a process of separating components of a mixture based on a different boiling points. जिसका according to a different boiling points you can collect them. So now coming to the different types of drugs under this category, that is the resins, and by studying these drugs you came to know about their chemical constituents, chemical taste, biological source and their uses also. So first one is the cannabis. Cannabis, it's synonymous ganja or Indian hemp you can say. And biological sources, it consists of the flowering tops of the cultivated female plants of the cannabis sativa and it's belong to the family Cannabinaceae. ये क्या होते हैं? फ्लोरिंग टॉप्स होती हैं प्लांट की, फीमेल प्लांट की, कैनबिस सटाइवा, भांग, गांजा, चरस. All these three preparations are obtained from the one plant, that is cannabis, and it belongs to the family Cannabinaceae. There are some diagnostic characters like trichomes. You can identify the cannabis by the nature of the trichomes. Both covering and glandular trichomes are present if you cannabis study under the microscope. Then covering trichomes, glandular trichomes. Chemical constituent, it contains 15 to 20% of resin, which contain major active principle is 1,3,4 tetrahydrocannabinol. This is also known as delta THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. And resin also contains cannabinol, cannabidiol, cannabidiolic acid, etc. And Indian hemp seeds contains 20% fixed oil. So this is oleoresin. It's used as sedative, narcotic, analgesics, hypnotic. Hypnotics are those drugs which induces sleep. It also has a psychotropic properties due to the THC, that is the tetrahydrocannabinol. cannabinol. It is also used as antibacterial agent. Next drug is Podophyllum. It is also known as Indian Podophyllum, and it consists of the dried rhizomes and roots of the plant known as Podophyllum hexandrum and the other species of Podophyllum that is known as Podophyllum imodi, and it belongs to the family Berberidaceae. Podophyllum hexandrum and Podophyllum imodi. There are also diagnostic characters like their present sclerids, wood elements, starch grains, parenchyma. Now the chemical constituents. It contains 7 to 15% of resin known as podophyllene. The main constituent in the podophyllum is podophyllene, and roots contain more resins than the rhizomes. Roots में आपका ज़्यादा resin present होता है than the rhizomes. Rhizomes are the underground stems, or you can say it is the form of modification of stems. And the active principle in podophyllum resin is known as Podophylotoxin. It is present in the concentration 40% in the Indian variety. Then alpha and beta palatines in the American Podophyllum, and it also contains flavonoids compounds like quercetin, camphorol, astragalin, and essential oils also. Uses of Podophyllum, this is also known as anti-cancer agent drug. It is also used as purgative and as a bitter tonic. Next drug is ginger, means adrak. It consists of the rhizomes of Gingiber officinale or Gingiber officinalis. Its biological source is this Gingiber officinale, and it belongs to the family Gingiberaceae. Their diagnostic characters like आप सबने अदरक देखा होगा, उसका ऑर्डर एकदम सा एरोमेटिक होता है. अगर आप घर में खाने में डालते हैं तो एक अलग सा फ्लेवर आता है, दैट इज नोन एज प्लेजेंट एरोमेटिक. देन टेस्ट इसका बहुत ही तीखा होता है. Then it is known as pungent taste. Then they are also present the parenchyma cells. These are yellowish brown oleoresinous cells. Then starch grain, ovoid or sac shaped starch grain are present in this. Then fibers and vessels. Fibers are non-lignified in this. Then the chemical constituents, it contains a 1 to 2% of volatile oil, pungent principle, resinous mass, and starch. The chief constituent of volatile oil in this is gingiberine, gingerol, and also the traces of shagol. It's used as stomachic, aromatic, carminative, stimulant, flavoring agent. And ginger is also used in mouthwashes, ginger beverages, and liquids also. Then coming to the next drug, capsicum, also known as chilies like Shimla mirch. Its biological source, they are the fruits, dry fruits of Capsicum frutescens or Capsicum annuum or Capsicum minimum. These are the different varieties of capsicum, and they belong to the family Solanaceae. Their diagnostic characters are oil globules abundant in red color, then the sclerid epidermis of the testa, they are yellowish green in color. And chemical constituents, it is very pungent. शिमला मिर्च आप सबने टेस्ट किया होगा. Why it is pungent, तीखा क्यों होता है? Due to presence of capsaicin. Its chemical constituent, red curling matter capsanthin. It also contains ascorbic acid, carotene, and red pigments. It is used as in the spices as a carminative, nervine stimulant, source of vitamin C, as an appetizer, stomachic, and counter irritant in rheumatism also. Next drug is benzoin. This is a very important drug in the category of resins. Its synonyms are gum benzoin, Luban, Loban, Lobana, Sumatra benzoin, and Siam benzoin. It is a balsamic resin. Balsamic means it consists of cinnamic and balsamic acid obtained from the inside stems of Styrax benzene. It belongs to the family Styraceae. And Siam benzene belongs to the genus and species Styrax tonkinensis, and its family also Styraceae. Styrax benzoin and Siam benzoin. This is Sumatra and Siam benzoin. Main constituents are 23% of balsamic acid, cinnamic and benzoic. 70 to 80% resin consists of triterpenoids, cyresinolic acid and sumaresinolic acids. Now the chemical tests are here in this, and you can write, if anybody asks you about the chemical test of the resins, you can write these chemical tests also. So first test is heat small amount of benzoin slowly in a dry test tube. आपने क्या करना है, छोटा सा अमाउंट ले लेना है बेंजोइन का, उसको ड्राई टेस्ट ट्यूब में आपने हीट करना है. Then it will melt and evolve white fumes is produced, which on condensation, अगर उसको कंडेंसेशन करते हैं, उसका ठंडा करते हैं, it forms a crystalline sublimate. Second test is when benzoin is heated with a potassium permanganate KMnO4 solution, order of benzaldehyde, एक अलग सा एलिमेंट की तरह फ्लेवर आता है, and this is because of Sumatra benzoin. Third test is when benzoin is extracted with the alcohol, से आप extract करते हैं and to the extract add water, milky white solution बन जाता है. This is the presence of, shows the presence of resin. Fourth test is digest benzoin with a few drops of pet ether for 5 minutes के लिए आपने mix करके रख दिया उसको petroleum ether से. Then this pour 1 ml of ethereal solution in a porcelain dish and containing 2 to 3 drops of concentrated sulfuric acid H2SO4 आपने rotate किया, reddish brown color वहाँ produce होता है, and this confirms the benzoin is present, means resins are present. Pet ether plus ethereal solution plus concentrated sulfuric acid, then reddish brown color is produced. Benzoin can be used as an antiseptic, expectorant, stimulant in the preparation of compound benzoin tincture. Siam benzene also contains the same type of chemical constituents, and it is used as expectorant in the perfumery and cosmetics. The Nahing asafoetida, ferula foetida or ferula asafoetida, umbelliferi. Its main constituents are ferulic acid, S-resinotenol. Here also the chemical test, powder triturated with water, yellowish orange emulsion produce होता है. Combined umbelliferone test, इसमें क्या करते हैं, drug is boiled with the HCl for 5 minutes के लिए आपने drug को boil करना है. Then it is filtered and ammonia is added to the filtrate. A blue fluorescence means a blue shining is there, then you can detect here it is the ferula foetida resins are present in this. And when drug is treated with a 50% of nitric acid, green color is produced. And when drug is treated with a few drops of sulfuric acid, red color is produced, which changes to violet on washing with water. Their use is as a carminative, expectorant, antispasmodic, laxative, and nervine tonic also. Then the colophony is also a solid residue resin. Abitic acid, natural resins, then chemical test. So there are many drugs which falls under this category. Hope now you will understand what are resins. Resin, why we uses the terms resin combination, because now you must came to know about the resin combination, that they are also known as acid resins, and resin alcohols. And we have studied the many different types of drugs like ginger, capsicum. Ginger is oleoresin, then capsicum, oleoresin, turmeric, asafoetida, cannabis, ipomia, podophyllum. There are many different other drugs also. So thank you for your attention. Thank you.